Winston and Tangela too, and our host Vincent Van Dahl, and he brings it to ya. Creature features and all creatures and all creatures, and the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Gonna get you tonight.
You do know that if you inadvertently slice off your head with that thing, it shall sting like the dickens. Welcome to Creature Features. I'm your host, Vincent, the adorable cherub over to this side, brandishing a weapon one might find on the set of a barbarian action film, would be my charming and delicate housemate, Miss Tangela. And the sullen bloke over to this side, who takes in the activities of the manor with both a grain of salt and a laissez-faire, out-of-sight, out-of-mind disposition, would be my refined and polished butler, Mr. Livingston. And do we have a most phenomenal program in store for you tonight? For I am both honoured and gratified to announce that our special guest this evening shall be music sensation Taylor Swift. Taylor will tell us about her meteoric rise to fame, give us some insights with regard to living full-time in a private jet, and perhaps even perform her latest hit, I Can See You. Oh, now what?
That person is not our guest.
You told me specifically that this booking was in the bag.
Yes, I told you that the invitation was in the mailbag. There was no response.
Oh, cripes. And who then is our guest? Oh, really? Much preferable. Tangela informs me that our guest for this evening will be screenwriter, movie producer, and novelist Eric Adams. A much more appropriate guest for a program like this one, I might add. Unlike the much ballyhooed Taylor Swift, who likely never even takes in horror films while traversing the globe in her bloody Dassault Falcon 900. Our film tonight will be The Earth Dies Screaming, from 1964, starring Willard Parker, Virginia Field, and Dennis Price. This lovely British film revolves around a mysterious gas attack upon the Earth by menacing space aliens. We're so sure that you'll love this film that Tangela will address any complaints about said film, both promptly and personally. So don't go away, for it is to be another night of gas-passing alien fright, right here on Creature Features.
You should really take that object away from her.
Sage advice. Stay tuned. Eric, did you know that if our viewers switched over to Channel 9, they could see a Hitchcock film called The Man Who Knew Too Much?
One of his best.
One of his best. 1934. That was early in his career, was it not?
Very early in his career.
But he did.
Black and white.
Black and white, of course. Right.
Of course.
Yeah, no. So, did the man actually know too much?
I can't tell the ending.
All right. It sounds like you know much about this film that I don't. Welcome to the show. We are joined by the wonderful Eric Adams. You're a novelist. You're a screenplay writer. You've directed before, right? And an all-around ninja, I think. Maybe? No?
Well, yes,
That go too far?
I love that description. Works great.
No, ninjas, I think, would make excellent writers of screenplays. Because, somebody writes a screenplay and says, oh, and then the ninja jumps off this cliff and the ninja could say, no, I'm not going to jump off this cliff, so I shall scratch this out and write, I shall jump off a bus.
A bus. Nothing better than when a character tells you what to do.
Right. So we're going to talk about your films. We're going to talk about your book. We're going to talk about what appears to be quite a storied career. You've met some big people and worked with some big people.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have. I worked with David Carradine in his last film.
Oh, we love David Carradine.
A film called My Suicide. I've worked with Danny Glover.
David Carradine's last film was called My Suicide.
I know. And that's something. And it's an anti-suicide movie nonetheless.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And he plays a poet whose name is Jesse Gabriel Vargas.
Right. And your involvement in that film was as?
I was the screenwriter and a co-producer on that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How sad, his last film. And then you also did the other film, Supremacy.
That's right.
Which is based on a story from around here.
That's correct. Right up the road, there was a story about a white supremacist and his ruthless girlfriend who come down a highway and kill a cop and run through a field, and they take hostage the only black family in the neighborhood.
Goodness. And this is based on a true film, true story.
Yeah, true story. Danny Glover plays in that, and Mahershala Ali and Anson Mount.
Wonderful actors, all of them.
Fantastic actors.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of nice movies, have you ever seen The Earth Dies Screaming?
I saw it a long time ago. I remember really loving it, and I want to see the whole thing again.
Well, keep in mind, though, I shall be yakking through the entire film.
Yes.
So, and in between the film segments. So you'll get all my editorial as well. All right, well, let's get this film started. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of your stuff.
Okay.
But let's roll The Earth Dies Screaming, 1964. Don't go away. You don't want to miss this one. Eric Adams, famous novel writer, producer, and director. Did you know that this film, it's no dialogue, anything?
I love it. That's the best way to write a movie.
Right. No. It's just like Jane walks to the car and Jane opens the door. How detailed do you have to get when you write something like that?
Well, when you write a movie, what you're doing is you're explaining everything that the audience is going to see on screen and nothing else.
And even down to details like she places her hand on the door and things like that?
You could if it's important to the story, or you might leave it to the director to direct the actor as to what they should do at that very moment.
Right. What looks best maybe behind the camera as well.
That's correct.
Right. Speaking of directing and producing, Rickshaw Girl, this is yours.
That's right.
And this is currently on...
It's on Apple TV, it's on Amazon, it's on Canopy, it's on 19 different platforms.
How wonderful. And you shot this in Bangladesh,
We shot this in Bangladesh. Took 27 hours to fly to Bangladesh. Each time we went 7 times. So we were 2 weeks in the air to shoot this movie.
My goodness. And this was when that you shot
This
it?
was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Wow, this is incredible. So I'm not familiar with it. What's the story?
Yeah, it's a great story. It's a story about a young teenage girl whose father is a rickshaw driver in Bangladesh, and her father grows ill, and she decides to dress as a boy and take the rickshaw out to make extra money for her family. But then, of course, her gender's revealed, and I can't tell you how the movie ends.
No, I have to watch it myself, and this is wonderful. This is beautiful. Apple TV. So what's it like working with them?
Apple TV is a great platform to be on. They really help promote your film. Amazon does the same thing. It's really nice to have streaming platforms because movies like this probably wouldn't have gotten seen had it not been for the platform world. So I'm very happy for platforms.
Right. How nice. How nice. Wonderful. Well, speaking of films that won't be on any platform right now except ours, let's get back to The Earth Dies Screaming. And when we come back, we're going to talk about your book. All right. Off we go to The Earth Dies Screaming. Don't die screaming watching it. It's really not that bad. It's actually pretty good. See you soon.
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Tangela, look at this. For only $12.95 US, you can get a diesel horn for your motorbike. You know, though, this does not look, no, this does not look like a real diesel horn. The diesel horns use air. This uses some type of magneto system.
It's modern.
No, well, it's not an air horn like you.
Thank you.
Anyways, welcome back to the show. Mr. Eric stepped away for a moment. I think he went off to write a script.
And it's time for mail.
And it's time for mail, but I think he went to write a script because he was inspired by sitting here with the likes of us.
Oh, I doubt that.
No, it was the glimmer in your eye that inspired him to write a novel about a butler.
How unfortunate.
No, he would never do that. In any case, let's do letters, because you send us letters, and if we don't read them, that would be most improper, would it not?
Indeed.
All right, what do you got?
I have an email from John Belushi.
John Belushi is dead.
Not this one.
John Belushi. Oh, he spells it different, though, I believe. All right. Greetings to you all. Here's a movie for you to play. The Ghost in the Darkness. Scary as, can I say that word?
Yes.
Scary as hell. Hades. Heck. And it's from a true story. Hope to see it soon. Keep up the great broadcasting, and thanks for a fantastic show. Take care and be well, John Belushi. So, The Ghost in the Darkness, this was the one about the tiger, or the tiger eating people in Africa and the hire hunter. I think it's like Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas and maybe Val Kilmer?
Does not sound familiar.
You know, you're not the first one to recommend this, Mr. John. However, that film... I don't think we can get that one. That's not on our catalogs of things that we can show on Creature Features.
I don't think so either.
It's a good film, though. Good suggestion. Thanks for writing. Next up, Mr. Livingston.
Someone from, it doesn't say.
I shall ascertain the sender. There's two things here. Oh, there's a photo.
Photo of
Well,
us.
we know who the sender is. All right. This is from our friends from a convention. Derek Mills, it says it right there.
Derek Mills.
Derek Mills lives in Soledad, California.
It was hidden in the body of the text.
All right. Dear Creature Features, Vincent Tangela and Mr. Livingston, my name is Derek Mills. I live in Soledad, California. My daughter and I love your show. My daughter loves Tangela. My daughter wants to dress up like her ever since we met you guys at East Bay Comic-Con. My daughter and I, if possible, can you play any Hammer films? Also attached is a photo of us, and we showed the photo. We'll put a big one. Hammer films. We've been showing lots of Hammer films lately.
Yes.
So look back in our catalog, and you're going to find those items. And what's next, Mr. Livingston?
From Michael Shook.
From Michael Shook. We've heard from Michael before. He's in Zephyr Hills, Florida.
Zephyr Hills. An interesting name.
One time I've been to Florida, I noticed that there was no hills in Florida.
It's a peninsula.
There's bumps. There's bumps. I suppose I'd call those hills. So this is the thing for you, I believe. Oh my goodness, look at this. All right, you take that, and I shall find the letter, which is there, and then here, this is for you as a gift from Michael to you. So is this.
I don't...
So is this.
Leave it in the box.
You already have one? Did you get one for Christmas? Look. I can't do it. There we go. All right, and then here's the box.
It was totally unnecessary.
This is the case. This is the casing for your gift.
Indeed.
And I shall read the letter. Yeah, he did it in giant type because he knows I'm partially blind. No, I'm just old. I'm not blind. There's that old eyes. Although, you know, he seldom wears glasses. Can you believe that? No spectacles on the old man. It's twice my age. All right, Michael Shook. He goes, hi, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Yes, thank you. As I always love the show, you are all so great. Livingston is awesome with his comments. You should hear some of the comments he says off camera. Vincent is great at keeping things fun. Told you.
Oh, you were so funny.
He says you never keep things fun, and I said that's quite wrong, and Michael just proved it. And Tangela is just the bomb. No. She uses bombs. She builds bombs. She deploys bombs. She detonates bombs. She is not the bomb. She's the bomb maker. You just read viewer mail on the show with the Pit movie. I can't understand why people complain about the show. They must be watching it in order to complain. Maybe they are being forced to watch. Anyway, please keep up the great work. I subscribe to Creature Feature TV. Wonderful, and everyone else watching should too. Check it out, Creature Feature TV. It's wonderful. And I think everyone should. And be a donor on Patreon. It's the best value on TV. See, I told you it's the best value on TV.
You've told me many things.
He never believes me when I tell him these things. Take care, Michael Shook. Well, thank you so much, Michael. And, next time you write to us, describe Zephyr Hills for us, because I'm confused. Are there alligators on Zephyr Hills? Is there maybe pelicans?
Pelicans?
That would be a great name for a novel. The Pelicans of Zephyr Hills. That it?
Yes.
That is it for mail. If you'd like to send us mail of your own, go to hellocreaturefeatures.com. On that particular site, you'll see information on how to send us an email, how to send us a handwritten letter, how to send us a nice package with a nice gift for Tangela, or how to send us a bucket of bad wine. Well, forget
Please do not.
No, not the bad wine. Send us fresh wine. We'll take the fresh wine. In any case, we'll be back with Eric soon, but let's get back to The Earth Dies Screaming. They don't always like us interrupting the program, but this time it's for an important message, because if you're watching us on terrestrial TV or on YouTube, eliminate the commercials by watching us on Creature Features TV. It's a new thing. You help the show. You can see all our episodes and some extras as well, and it's quite inexpensive. In fact, it's so inexpensive that Tangela went to the store and picked up a few items that cost the same as 1 month of Creature Feature TV, like sushi, a platter of, it's not even real sushi. There's no fish in this. It's cucumber sushi. So for the same price as cucumber sushi, you can have Creature Feature TV. What else? A bag of onions. Now, we know which you would prefer. Who's going to sit home and eat a bag of onions and not watch Creature Feature TV? Get Creature Feature TV. Avoid the onions. And finally, a bottle of Drano Max Gel. Now, this is a wonderful product. However, I think you would watch Creature Feature TV more than you'd be using this to unplug your sinks. I could be wrong. Maybe you have bad plumbing. Maybe not. In any case, get Creature Feature TV. It's more delicious than Drano. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, you're somewhat tardy. We'll forgive them this time, right? Maybe. Anyways, we are watching The Earth Dies Screaming, 1964, with the wonderful Eric Adams, who is a writer, producer, director, and you have another career I just found out about. We'll talk about it in a bit. But you wrote this book, Birdland.
That's right.
And it's set here in Bodega Bay.
Set right here in Bodega Bay, where Alfred Hitchcock filmed The Birds.
You know what I like? There's a little piece of the book in the back, and it says, but Katie discovers that Vincent has a few surprises of his own.
That's correct.
See, he kept me in mind when he wrote this book. When did you write this?
I wrote this probably 10 years ago.
10 years, all right.
Yeah.
So he would have known me 10 years ago, so it's a different Vincent. But this is wonderful. It's based in Bodega Bay. It's somewhat based on Hitchcock.
It certainly is. It's a story of a woman who finds out from her dying mother, who's an aging starlet, that she has a long-lost brother. And that brother happens to be, in Bodega Bay, under the care of an eccentric old woman who is infatuated with Alfred Hitchcock in the 6 weeks he spent filming the birds.
My goodness. Wow. So you probably talk about all the locations.
A lot of locations.
Right.
The house, the Brenner House, the Tides Cafe.
Potter Valley School.
That's right, the great school.
No, we just had the owner here a few weeks past. And we got a tour and we got to see the whole thing. It was wonderful. Got the whole story on that. Mm-hmm. She has some good stories about Hitchcock, but I imagine you have quite a few good ones in here as well.
Yeah.
And this is available on Amazon?
It is. It's on Kindle books only.
Nice.
That's right. And did you know that Alfred Hitchcock used to be in Bodega Bay when he was filming the film, and they brought in 25,000 crows and ravens to make this movie live.
25,000.
Yeah. They tried to get fake birds. It didn't work, so they had to go out and find 25,000
You know, when
birds,
you watch the film,
today.
you'll see a few fake ones tied. They're just like puppet type things tied to the thing.
Yeah.
Right. But no, that's a lot of birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do that today.
A lot of bird food.
A lot of bird food. And part of that bird food was tipihedron.
Right. Yeah. All right, let's get back to this film. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some more of your work. But first, let's get back to The Earth Dies Screaming. Don't go away. Things are always funner towards the end.
Hi, this is Kevin calling from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And if I were to make a recommendation of oldie but goldie, a classic is The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. Thank you again for everything. Have a great day. Bye.
Hello, this is Livingston. Apparently, one of my newly acquired domestic duties is to request help for our show financially by asking you to visit our Patreon page. Your generosity will help keep Creature Features on the air, which I'm not entirely sure is a good thing. However, with only a few dollars a month from you, your kindness will allow us to continue creating new programming each week, which apparently some of you curiously enjoy. And should you have the desire to give even more, you might even receive a gift from Ms. Tangella. I think not. Please visit the website below to learn more. Thank you.
You know, Eric, this film looks quite like Target Earth from the 50s. The little robot guys.
I remember those robots.
Yeah, no, those robots are quite iconic, and I think maybe they were mimicking those robots. Although, they just look like spacesuits with a funny thing inside the helmet, so who knows. But anyways, welcome back to the show. We are with Eric Adams. He's a filmmaker. He's a producer. He's a novelist, and he made this film, Supremacy, which this is a fairly recent film.
It is a fairly recent film, probably within the last 3 to 5 years, yeah.
Right. And you mentioned the plot earlier. It's two people based on a true story who kill a police officer, and then they do a home invasion. And this happened close by here.
This happened very close by here. That's correct.
So what's involved in doing a film like that? I mean, do you have to get rights from the story and all this?
That's right. You have to get rights from the people whose lives you're telling.
Right.
Which we did, and they were so happy with the movie.
So you used actual names and everything?
We used false names, but we did use their story.
Right.
Wonderful people, friends with them still.
Right.
And then we wrote the screenplay, and then, of course, you have to get the actors. And we were very lucky to get Danny Glover, who was a fantastic actor, as you know.
Everybody loves Danny Glover.
Everyone loves
Is he as wonderful in person as he is on screen?
He is so nice. I'll tell you, not only is he nice, he is a hard worker. Every single morning when we were ready to shoot our 5 pages of script, we sat down, Danny Glover, myself, and the director, Dion Taylor, and we talked about what we were going to shoot that day, and Danny Glover always had a great idea how to make that day better.
Wow. How wonderful. And the other actor you mentioned who's...
Mahershala Ali,
right.
Academy Award winner.
Right.
Anson Mount, who's a wonderful actor. Leela Rashan is in it. And Evan Ross, who is the son of Diana Ross, is in the film.
Oh, really?
As well. Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, it's a small world, you know, these famous singers producing these famous actors.
Yeah.
Right, no. So how long did it take to film?
It took 30 days of shooting. Most films take about 30 days.
Right.
We shot it in L.A., which is where most films are made.
Right.
And we found a fantastic house to shoot it in because the house was a character in the film because 90% of that film happened in one house over the course of 12 hours.
Wow.
Where Danny Glover, who plays the patriarch of the film, has to use his wit and his understanding of the racist mind to free himself and his family from this supremacist and ruthless girlfriend.
Wow, wow. Is this currently playing on any of the streamers?
Oh, yeah. You can find that on Amazon, probably Apple TV. Just look up Supremacy.
Right.
Danny Glover, and you'll find
wonderful,
it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's available on Blu-ray.
And DVD.
And DVD. All right, well, let's get back to The Earth Dies Screaming. And when we come back, we're going to find out more about the wonderful Eric Adams. See you soon.
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Welcome back to Creature Features. We're almost done with this film, and sadly almost done with our guest, Eric Adams. You know, during the break, or during the film, I found out that you have another career.
That's right, I do.
You're a professor.
Correct.
He professes. He professes advice on creating scripts.
That's right.
You have a script writing course at the Santa Rosa junior college. And if you want to learn to write scripts like the great Eric Adams, you can sign up for the course and come. And you do this how many times a week?
Well, it's a 17-week course every semester. So it's an evening course for people like you who want to come on and work during the day. If you do work during the day, I think you just sleep in a coffin, perhaps.
No, I think my writing would be terrible. And I would be an insult to your teaching skills because I'd be an obvious failure.
Not so.
Or maybe not. Maybe not. He could be a good teacher. I mean, he probably is a good teacher. Maybe good enough to teach me. I don't know. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 5-7 years. I also just came off an academic cruise for 100 days.
Academic cruise? I've never heard of this.
Called Semester at Sea. And it's 500 college students from 250 universities. And we sailed on a beautiful cruise ship from Germany to Bangkok, Thailand, with 10 ports of call along the way.
For how long?
For 104 days.
104 days with college students. Was this like write a script and then beer bong and then what's that game they play with the ping pong balls?
Beer pong.
Beer pong?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic cruise, and we went to so many different places. We went to Vietnam and Cape Town and Malaysia.
My goodness.
And Mauritius and Malta and Spain and Greece. It was fantastic.
Oh, well, second thought, I'm signing up for your course.
That's what you should sign.
No, I'm going to go on the cruise. So is this like Princess Cruise where it's like dinner on the Lido
there is
deck?
Dinner, but there it's a full accredited semester. So every single student from all the universities from which they come, they all get a full semester credit for the cruise. It's like a study abroad program, but instead of going to one place, you're going to 10 places and taking a cruise around the world.
I got into the wrong bloody business. Yeah. Forget rock and roll. I should have been a screenwriter. Yeah. Go on cruises like that and get credit, no less. That's wonderful. So on this cruise, you said 500?
500 students.
500 students. Of these 500, how many do you think are going to be big?
Well, that's a good question. There was a lot of different courses that were taught. My course was just one of them. But I had some screenwriters that were fantastic on this cruise. As a matter of fact, every single time I have a class, I have 2 screenwriters usually that I think could make it in Hollywood.
Really?
Yeah.
Only 2 out of 500?
Well, 2 out of my students. My students, I had 25 students.
Oh, of course, because you had help.
Yeah.
As you no, that makes sense. Good Lord. I've never been to some of these places.
They're wonderful.
No, and I've toured all over the world. I've never been to Bangkok. Mm. That must have been fun. That's in Thailand, right?
That's correct.
Bangkok, Thailand. How wonderful. All right, well, what do you say we wrap up this film? And when we come back, we're going to find out how people could learn more about you and what you're doing next.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right, off we go to the end of The Earth Dies Screaming. Hopefully there won't be too much screaming, but in case there is, we'll be back after the credits. So don't go away, because Tangelo will be here, and you know how she gets when you're not here after the credits.
Ooh.
See you soon. Oh, I like that show. It's a nice one. That ends The Earth Dies Screaming. Radio. You know, aliens should not use shortwave Earth terrestrial technology if they plan an invasion.
I say that all the time.
You would never put that in one of your stories, would you?
That's a good idea, actually. I like it.
To use this type?
Why not?
Yeah. No, you're far more advanced than the writers. The writers of this film probably wrote it in the 50s. So the only technology they knew of that was big was shortwave. Your story would involve Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. right?
Of
Maybe
course.
maybe even the satellite, the Starlink thing, right? Ooh, that's a story for you.
That's a story you should write. It sounds fantastic.
No. I'm not a writer.
I buy the
come up with
idea?
I'm an idea man,
Okay.
right? I come up with ideas. I'm full of it, full of them, right? She says I'm full of it. I know I'm full of them. Anyways, what's next for Eric Adams?
Oh, fantastic things coming up. I'm executive producing a horror comedy movie.
A I love horror comedies.
I love horror comedy too.
And this is your film. This is all you.
No, not all me. I'm just an executive producer on a
Right.
team.
Right.
And I'm very excited because it's my sons who are going to be writing, producing, and directing.
The apple does not fall far from the tree, does it not?
Yes, and
No,
the rotten ones and the good ones.
Right. So does he want to be a writer, a filmmaker? What's his goal?
All of the above. There's
All the
two
above?
sons. I have two sons, and they're
Right.
both involved.
How wonderful. And a horror film. Is it going to be gory?
We'll see.
What's the premise? Tell us.
Well, I can't say much,
Right.
but I can tell you it's about a couple that moves to a haunted house in upstate New York
Right.
and finds a very strange creature living in the basement.
Yeah, it's kind of like my story here with her. No, I brought her up from L.A., but it's almost the same thing. I woke up one morning, there she was in my living room. She didn't have claws, though, so that's wonderful. How do we find out more about you? Do you have a website?
Oh, great. Thank you. Yes, my website is www.sleeperwave.com.
Sleeperwave. I bet a surfboard company is going to buy that domain
I
from
would
you
love it.
for $1 million one day. All right. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for coming onto the show and telling us about your stuff. You need to come back with that horror film once it's ready, or when you're at a point where you could talk about it, maybe show us the trailer.
I'd love to. Thank you.
And then we'll have you back and talk some more about your writing.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me here. I love Creature Feature.
Well, it's our pleasure. And as far as you guys go, thank you so much for watching the program. We know you could have been watching that Hitchcock film, but instead you stayed here with us. And that's nice of them, right? She likes the idea. I like the idea. And for that reason, we love you. We'll see you next week. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend. So, Eric, I was thinking some more about this cruise thing you do. And while I don't have the time to do a whole writing course, perhaps I could just come as a helper.
Well, maybe the captain will give you a job swabbing the deck.